Hey everybody, welcome back to my Manifesting Change series. So today on day 4, I want to talk about time and just your relationship with, the past, present, future, giving new definitions to time and also just repurposing it in a way that benefits you instead of something that causes limitations. Um, just letting go of the assumptions that you need a time delay to receive your manifestation, this idea of processes that we have kind of come to accept. Manifestation isn't a process, and time is not a factor in anything that you desire. Everything's literally happening now in this moment, so there's really no need for you to experience a delay. But sometimes when we're changing what we're aware of, that often might seem like we're perceiving a delay only because we're not used to operating from that mindset. So it can feel like reality isn't changing as quickly as we'd like, but the truth is reality is always changing. That's one thing that's always constant. And let me see, I have some notes here, so let me see. So what I really want to say is, like, I realize that time is more so a byproduct of us shifting our realities. Like, we're shifting realities in every single moment. That's how quick it's happening. It's almost so quick that we can't really perceive it. And we've kind of established time as a way to give us this sense of continuity, like each moment building on the next one, when the truth is each moment is completely different and separate from the next, because each moment is literally a reality that we're shifting from that quickly. So time is basically a byproduct of shifting realities. So when you have the assumption or the belief in time, like a past that connects to this present moment that will lead to the future, for that sense of continuity, it's going to seem like they're almost small, insignificant changes. Reality is going to be so similar that you'll feel like you're unable to even tell the difference. Like, me that was speaking in the beginning of this video is completely different from the me that's speaking to you now. Like, we're two completely different people. It's two different realities. Like, each moment that I continue to talk with you guys is a completely different reality. So if you could even just grasp that, it could give you a sense of freedom. Like, okay, well, what I had experienced or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest yourself out of, that has nothing to do with this moment. So that debt you have literally has nothing to do with this moment. That debt, the fact that it still exists right now, is only because you have the assumption that it exists. It's only because you assume that that past experience that you had is somehow connected to where you find yourself now. It's only your belief in time, that things are continuous, that you feel like you're unable to manifest that situation to be different instantly in this moment. So since we create this experience, time is something that's happening within our consciousness too. So you are time. Your beliefs about time is what creates your experience of it. So if you think life is going slow for you or nothing's happening, that's because that's how you feel about it. That's what you believe. That's what you have accepted and assumed to be true based on whatever you were, raised to believe, or whatever understanding you have about time and your relationship to it. So you can literally manifest a different relationship with time where things move a lot more rapidly, things change a lot quickly with less need for that logical reasoning behind it. Um, so most people think change automatically means some amount of time has to pass, or it takes time for people to change, or you might assume that most people can never change, to just be the same old person that they've always been. They're resistant to change because they feel like it's something that's impossible or just different or even separate from them, not realizing it's just their own belief that things are difficult to change is what's causing that experience, not the other way around. So if you believe that things can't change, then you're going to experience difficulty trying to change things. You're going to experience that things don't change. and you won't be able to see beyond that assumption, which is why it feels so hard to change. But it's really just your belief that it's hard that's, perpetuating what you already think to be true. So, we kind of created that experience of time to help us experience manifestations, kind of go through the pleasure of, unfolding things, that excitement, of things taking form, before our very own eyes. But a lot of people will just talk about acting as if, being present in the moment, because right now is all you have. So if you take all of your attention and energy right now to focus on having what you want, eventually it has to take form. But if you're jumping back into that belief of time, thinking that you have to wait for things, you're creating waiting for things. So, that's kind of the idea behind the techniques and these manifestation processes that people are coming up with, is really just to get you into the idea of being in that state of having what you want now. It doesn't take time for you to step into an identity. You don't need to take time to change your beliefs and accept something to be true. If you just realize that you could identify with it now, and there's nothing that you have to do with your old thoughts, your old mindset, like that automatically fades away as you highlight something else, as you start to activate something else. The other stuff will dissolve on its own. That has nothing to do with you, because this moment is brand new, right here, right now. So if you could even wrap your mind around that, just letting it go in this instant and assuming instantly that you are someone new, you could literally manifest changes instantaneously, because it is happening that instant. Um, so yeah, it's really just our belief in that passage of time, just having that state of being, that concept of life having to unfold a certain way for things to happen on a linear, kind of frequency, instead of just being right here in the moment. Um, but yeah, it's not a process. It's really a decision. So I think just to be able to recognize that you can instantly choose your state just by assuming you are who you want to be now, assuming that confidence, that fearlessness, that security, and just keep reminding yourself of it. It's not even something that you have to effort to do. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about in another video, just talking about like the limitations we have, and even this idea of letting things go. Just like change is natural, letting go is natural too. It's just we assume that it's this process that we have to do, when in reality it's just natural for us to experience something in the moment and it literally passed just as soon as it came up, like emotions or thoughts or things of that nature. So I think, just to wrap things up, your relationship of time is what you make of it. So think about it like this, when you have so much fun with something and you kind of get lost, you lose track of time. Like when you're not really forcing things, things seem to be going by a lot more smoother, easier than when you're struggling with something, or you're really watching the time, or you're sitting in traffic frustrated, like why aren't things moving. Is really just your own expectation of it. So I think what I really want to say about time is that manifesting doesn't take time. It might feel like it does in the beginning when you're starting to change your mentality about things, but the more you become aware that time is what you make of it, you'll start to see that you don't necessarily need any type of gap or period of time for you to accept these possibilities to be true for you, or even just to be a possibility for you, before you actually realize things. So I think I said a lot. I don't want to get too repetitive, even though I know I'm hard-headed, so a lot of things that I learned, I had to keep rewatching it over and over again. But I think I said enough just to give you guys a different perspective to think about time. And like I was saying with the past, present, and future, it doesn't really exist. It's just different realities, different versions of yourself that you can choose to connect with at any moment in time. You could choose to connect with a past version of you that's always had what you want. So that's like the technique of revision, is choosing a different path that you would have had in your ideal state, or your desired reality. Well, that version of you has always been good at manifesting, so obviously they've never had any debt, they've never had any fear, insecurities, doubt, whatever. So the same thing with the future. If you want to step into the you that already has all your desires, well, then that future you is comfortable, calm, relaxed, at peace, confident, and it's just naturally easy for you to have what you want. So you wouldn't even be worrying about any type of negative emotions or thoughts, because those things are not even a factor for you. So it's really just understanding how your assumptions are literally creating your experience of things, and you have to kind of go there in your mind first to just practice that way of looking at things, and then it'll become natural, or obviously you could manifest that it's natural. But I don't want to take too much time, so I think I said enough there just to wrap that up. And yeah, I think I'm either going to do like a summary for day 5, or I think I'm going to talk about limiting beliefs, limitations we have in terms of change. That could just mean even just in changing your definition of it, or your relationship to it, can automatically make things start to be easier for you, unless you just want to manifest that it's always been easy. That's something else. But yeah, just stay tuned for this series. I think I'm going to extend it because I keep getting more and more ideas. But yeah, let me stop rambling because this is going on long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Get some insights from this video, and just think of new ways to see time in a new perspective that benefits you, instead of something that seems to be slowing you down or holding things back from you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 5.